What's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another installment of Brandon Hanna Live. I am, of course, your host, Brandon Hanna, and I am live. I'm live with you right now. But I'm not the only one here. You know, he's here with me every month. We might as well call it Raul Alejandro Mendoza Live.
No, sir.
Because that's who's here with me today.
No. That's
No.
not. No, it's Brandon Hanna live. It's Brandon Hanna live. I don't even know how to do this anymore. Should I look there? Should I look here? I don't know how to do this. Been out of commission for like 3 weeks.
Oh, man.
You know, things. I had to graduate and I had to make a movie. So.
Well, how's that going? You know, we talk about movies on this show. What can you inform us? What can you tease us with?
I mean, what's it called? If you follow Before I Leave, Before I Leave film on Instagram, you already saw some stills on there. Let me see if I said the right thing. Yeah, Before I Leave film on Instagram, you should already be looking at some stills from our short film. But yeah, man, just been like really busy. Like, think life got a lot more hectic than I thought it was gonna get. Like a week before grades were due for graduation, I had to do all these projects and I had to make sure I could pass my geology class, which I freaking did against all odds. I freaking did with a C plus. Guess what? I don't care.
C's get degrees, you know that.
I did. I had my degree. And then of course it was graduation. I was barely at home, so I really couldn't do much recording. And I came back from graduation and literally go into production. So, you know, I've been really busy, but I am really happy to say that we have finally wrapped production on my short and we are headed into editing.
Oh, editing. The editing phase. Are you editing the film yourself? Do you have a editor working with you?
I'm supervising and I'm editing, like, you know, I'm editing to an extent, but I have somebody who's working with me on there. So that's gonna be that. But I am a little bit like, you know, still recovering from being on set. So like my throat, like I don't necessarily have a loud voice like I usually do. And but I did sleep, Brandon. I slept. I got some sleep, and I think that I'm gonna be fine for today.
There you go. You got some sleep. You needed to be well rested to talk about Timothee Chalamet becoming Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
I had to go with that as our main story to talk about on this show today. I saw we had Ferris Muthana in the chat here a moment ago saying Hannah for Wonka, Timothee Chalamet being casted as egregious. That's a good word, egregious.
Before I make my joke, Brandon, are the Oompa Loompas children?
Are the Oompa Loompas children? I don't think so. I think they're adults.
Well, I hope that in this we find out why the Oompa Loompas got chlamydia, like the whole thing that happened in NYU with Chalamet.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh man, that's rough. That's a rough way to start the show here today.
You're the one who sent me the link.
Oh no! Can I unsend it really quick? Can I?
You can kick me out, but you really want to do this alone?
No. I need you here. It's just you, me, and the Ferris right now, but that's okay. Well, how's it going, Ferris? How you doing? How do you feel about Timothee Chalamet being Willy Wonka for real? I am excited. I know. Listen, I know. You know, it's kind of it feels like a safe choice for a movie that nobody asked for. But I don't know. Timothee Chalamet, he's a pretty big name. I like to imagine he's got some pretty good agents, you know, working for him, representing him, and they wouldn't put him on a project, I don't feel, if it were truly a waste of time. I feel like there might be something here with this Wonka origin story. I don't know how you feel, Raul. I know you're not as much of a Willy Wonka enthusiast as I am.
I mean, we look at the Gene Wilder one, right? What's it called with Gene Wilder? It's classic,
Mhm.
right? World of imagination. Not gonna sing the rest of it because you can get DMCA'd on here, and get your video blocked. They have that one, and I remember the Tim Burton one with Johnny Depp. I don't really give a shit about that one. I don't really think that this one's for me necessarily. Like, I didn't really grow up with the first one. I wasn't really like floored and loved the Johnny Depp one. So I'm like, I really don't think that this is an example of, see, if this makes money, all right, cool. If it does, awesome. If it doesn't, then all right. There's a possible red stain on Chalamet's career, but it's not that big of a stain, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. Like you said, the Gene Wilder one is kind of regarded in hindsight as a classic. It's a movie that a lot of people grow up on. I know at the time it wasn't necessarily received well because it is a very bizarre, weirdly dark movie that I'm sure at the time, if you brought your kids to see this in the theater, you might have some second thoughts halfway through. But for me, I grew up on it. I absolutely love it. The Tim Burton version with Johnny Depp, that one kind of missed the mark, I think, for a lot of people. They did this whole weird backstory, which is interesting because the movie we're getting here with Timothee Chalamet is supposed to be a Wonka origin story, I guess, of sorts. Maybe how he meets the Oompa Loompas, how he starts this factory. I don't know exactly where they're going to be going with it. But we kind of got a little bit of a backstory with that Tim Burton one where his dad is a dentist and he doesn't like candy and he's got these braces. It was a bit too much, if you ask me. But
it all goes down to the idea of how he created his exploitative class of labor in his factory.
I wonder how they're gonna touch on that as well. Like, because the way you just put it is
directed by Bong Joon-ho.
That would be something. I mean,
hey, now that's how you get me in my seat. Yeah, like, oh, now we're not just talking, Wonka shit. Now we're gonna go into this heavy class structure stuff.
I mean, speaking of Bong Joon-ho, isn't there a film theory out there on YouTube about Snowpiercer being a Willy Wonka sequel?
Yeah, somebody was like, yeah, it's just another just a different version of Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory.
Willy Wonka makes this train. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But
we're headed somewhere, Brandon. We're headed somewhere.
To a world of pure imagination. I love the way you should audition. We should have both auditioned.
Man.
For the co-leads of the movie. They could have done an Imaginarium of what Dr. Parnassus thing with different actors playing the same character. No?
Yeah. Maybe, man. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you audition for the role and I'll audition to direct it,
There you go.
Nobody wants to see me in front of a camera. Or else I'm going to probably be one of the Oompa Loompas. Like I was when I did the play when I was a kid.
I think you underestimate yourself. I think you would be an incredible Willy Wonka.
Unless Willy Wonka is 5 feet tall and Mexican, I'm not going to be Willy Wonka.
If they can make Tom Cruise look 6 feet tall on camera, we can do anything. Okay? It doesn't matter how tall you are. Anybody could be Willy Wonka.
Anybody could be Willy Wonka.
Anybody could be Willy Wonka if they try really hard and believe in themselves. We have Ferris in the chat saying there was this moment in the Tim Burton where his childhood home just disappears and pops up in the middle of nowhere. Do you remember this,
that?
Raul?
Yeah, I remember that. That shit was weird. But then again, that's kind of what you get when you have Tim Burton making a fucking movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have Ferris confirming the height of Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Well, he's saying he's like 5'2". I don't know if I would take that as a confirmation.
Yeah. Ferris, you working the register tonight?
Oh no, but guys, I just I'm excited for any type of Willy Wonka movie. I know they used to. I don't think they still do make Wonka candy bar, like chocolate bars. You can still get like Nerds and
Of course.
like everlasting gobstoppers, stuff like that, I believe. But I think it's hard to get some hands on Wonka bars. So if the marketing for this movie includes the return of Wonka bars,
Oh, hell yeah.
I can be on board for that.
Wonka bars. Wonka nerd bars. Imagine that.
Oh, you're onto something there.
Yeah.
Have you ever had Nerds Rope?
No, I can't find them
No.
anywhere. I have a friend who has constantly recommended them to me, and I keep telling them that I can't find them anywhere.
I don't think you can find anything Wonka anywhere, and it's not just because he's a fictional character, because they did make all these candies. I've definitely had Nerds Rope a good amount of times in my childhood.
Ferris, you got some Nerds Rope where you work? I want to know. Sound off in the comments.
If you have a Nerds Rope guy, Ferris, you let us know.
Yeah.
We want to
I don't
talk
care how much you take out of that register. I want to try these Nerds Rope.
Oh man, but we'll just have to wait and see how this movie turns out. I know a lot of people are not very particularly excited about it, but what can I say? As a lover of all things Wonka and chocolate,
yeah,
I'm on board.
Now, who do you think, has there been a director announced for this?
Not that I'm aware of. Who would you, other than Bong Joon-ho, who would you pitch to direct this movie?
I feel like, imagine if we could get like a sort of like interesting like horror like esque look at Willy Wonka and like have like someone like Jordan Peele do it.
Oh, that would be really interesting.
Yeah. Just, have like a whole film centered around like, the bloody like class exploitative, work around there.
Mm-hmm.
And like how, there seems to be something in the chocolate bars that are making, the kids what's it called, draw to Wonka, and you could like have some really weird shit go on there.
You're on to something with that one.
Yeah.
What does that remind me of? That reminds me of a different movie.
I don't know.
Like of people just like walking like zombies being drawn to like one particular person or thing. I feel like I've seen that trope in a movie before, but it would definitely a Jordan Peele Wonka, something to that effect. Would we want to make Wonka the villain though? Would we want to make him, I don't know. Or is Wonka a hero?
Well, I mean, you're asking the wrong guy whether I think a capitalist factory owner who exploits people of a different skin tone is a hero or not.
Yeah. That's very fair points, but maybe in this new take on the character, you don't do that.
Yeah. We used to have Nerds Rope. You're very much disappointing me, Ferris. I want Nerds Rope. Damn.
And at least Ferris, he did Google the actual height of Tom Cruise, and it is 5'7".
That is very different from 5'2", Ferris.
That's 5 whole inches. That's almost half a foot.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Oh my God. What am I going to do with you, Raul?
You're the one who invited me.
I know you keep saying that. I believe it less and less the more times you say it. But
I can't come on periodic table, man. I gotta be here on this one.
You can come on periodic table anytime you want, guys. Guys, we just had an episode of the periodic table right before this. If you didn't check that one out, we do that show every week. If you like science, if you're here for the first time, maybe Raul will be on a future episode. You got a C+ in geology.
No, don't. Hey, fuck you, Brandon.
That's good. That's passing. I never even took geology, so you're ahead of me. in
Yeah.
geological knowledge.
Send me the link, and I'll come on whatever you want me to come on, Brandon.
um. Oh, at least
Uh,
he invited you. Is that shade? Is that shade,
that's
Ferris?
Shade, Ferris. But you're
Well, you said
working the register,
you said you're
Ferris.
working right now. Otherwise, I'd send you the link, man. Get some Schmodown after show representation
Yeah.
on this channel here. But what else? What else happened in the world of movies this week other than Willy Wonka? We had an Eternals trailer.
Very
That
much.
much I remember.
We have a Last Night in Soho trailer.
We got that this morning as well, and also something milkshake. What is that movie?
Gunpowder Milkshake.
Gunpowder Milkshake came out this morning as well, I believe.
I did not get to watch that one.
Did you get a chance to at least watch the other two trailers?
Yes, of course.
Okay, let's go over Eternals first. I want to know your thoughts as someone who's not the biggest blockbuster film MCU fan. It is directed by Chloe Zhao, though, who just took home the Oscar for Nomadland. So that has to at least get you a little bit interested.
Yeah. So I watched this and it looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, it to me, it looks like it looks like a Chloe Zhao film, and that in of itself is a big thing. You're able to bring a direct, like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Brandon. This is the first time a Oscar-winning director works within the MCU, correct?
I have to really think about that.
Chat, anybody who's watching who has this information pulled up on them, is this the first time an Oscar-winning director is working with the MCU?
It might be the case. They've gotten a lot of talented people, like the Russo brothers hadn't really done anything crazy before. Doing Captain America: The Winter Soldier. We had Kenneth Branagh do Thor. I'm like, I don't think he's like, no. Like, yeah, Ferris is saying that you're correct, Raul. I'm at least trying to think of like people who might be like Oscar nominated or like,
but has ever gotten that Oscar?
No. So
I think it looks really like beautiful, like cinematography wise looks incredible. I think that the choice to go natural lighting within some of these frames really works. I'm just hoping that what really got me though, is that I'm hoping that we're like going to cover like multiple eras of the Eternals kind of stepping aside and watching the humans kind of do their thing, because like you see like they're there with the Samaritans, and I want to see like some of that old shit, because that's the stuff that interests me as a history fan myself, but also like in a way how like the Eternals are basically like these gods who basically said, all right, humanity, I'm gonna just leave you alone now. Like, I'm going to let you do what you need to do. But like, obviously now I have to intervene because there's just something that we need to do to fix this thing. And also like, me being the man I am, I see Salma Hayek and I'm like, yep, you got me there. And I love Salma Hayek, so I want to see her. But I don't think I'm necessarily drawn into the story yet, because I really don't know anything about these characters, nor do I know anything about this film. But I am drawn into the visual style of it that we're going to get from Zhao. But I said I was interested either way, because I just don't know shit about this. And I kind of like when I'm stepping into a film that I have absolutely no idea about.
Yeah, definitely. It looks beautifully shot, as we would expect from a film by Chloe Zhao. But the Eternals is such an unknown comic property to most people who aren't comic book fans. Me, I'm not a comic book reader. I obviously love comic book films, but I've never been one to sit down and read comic books on a consistent basis. So I don't know too much about the Eternals. I did a little bit of research, and it's I have faith 100%, obviously, in the director, but also, Kevin Feige and Marvel to take an unknown property and make it something that is interesting. Guardians of the Galaxy, for example, was not that they were like D list superheroes, and they were able to make something interesting with that. So I'm sure Eternals in obviously a very different way. Once I watch the film, I'll probably be really invested in these characters. But for now, I'm like, I don't really know who these people are. They're supposed to be, eternal, right? They're supposed to be, they're on like the origins of life on Earth, basically. And they're supposed to be these protectors of Earth, but where the hell were they? All 23, 24 of these Marvel movies by the time we get to this film. What have they been up to? They're supposed to be protectors, but they don't get involved. I don't really know what to expect. If anybody watching has more of a knowledge of the Eternals, let me know, maybe what it is that I'm missing here. But I mean, obviously, based on the director and the cast and the fact that it's Marvel, like I'm their opening night, 100%. And it looks like, like you said, Raul, it's something new with new characters that's not going to rely on that, has to be necessarily in line with the story direction of Marvel. There's a little more creative freedom probably with some of the storytelling elements, which of course these characters will more than likely tie into future Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. For now, there's like a little bit of room to play, which is exciting to see.
I'm very excited though to see he goes as Madong Suk in South Korea, but he's going as Don Lee here in the United States. He was one of the main protagonists of Train to Busan, and he's playing one of the characters in this film. And that man, dude, that man is money, man. That man looks like a literal superhero. That man, give him a couple of years, that man's gonna have a great career here as an action star, because he has the build for an action star, and he literally looks like a fucking superhero. Really excited to see Don Lee in this. Yeah,
definitely. It's great to see different actors that we wouldn't necessarily fan cast into different roles get a shot to play these Marvel superheroes that and so I'm 100% on board. I know we have Ferris in the chat saying he's super excited for Eternals, but he doesn't necessarily know who it is that you're talking about, this actor.
Yeah. Don Lee, go watch Train to Busan. He's on there. Great South Korean zombie film. Better than Army of the Dead for sure. And go and watch that. He's freaking awesome. Man is like freaking Billy just said, man is built like a fucking tank, bro. Man is swole as shit. It's freaking awesome, man. You guys should definitely go check him out.
Yeah, I've never seen Train to Busan, but
Dude,
I'll have to.
You need to watch that shit. That shit's really good. It's not even just a good like zombie film. It's an amazing film, like just in general. Like it's a great movie.
I'll definitely have to check that out. I did see Army of the Dead, however.
Yeah.
Not to disappoint you, Raul, but I did see Army of the Dead first.
Yeah. It's okay, man. You have to watch the bad stuff to actually appreciate the good stuff first.
I'm just building myself up. Although I didn't mind Army of the Dead. There was some cool stuff in there. I like some of the ideas of there's obviously zombie movie tropes, and I'm like trying to like not spoil anything for people that are looking forward to it, haven't had the chance to watch it yet. There's like certain tropes that they do, yes, but there's also stuff that I didn't expect, some story elements where I was like, oh, this is refreshing. Because you don't just want to get like The Walking Dead over and over again, where it's like post-apocalyptic zombie world where you have to learn how to survive and how to deal with it and live amongst the dead, and there's drama and different factions of people going against one another. I've seen that 1,000 times. So It's nice to see something refreshing, and I will definitely check out Train to Busan when I can, because
Love
I've
you,
only heard
Billy.
great things about it.
Love you, Billy. These are just my raw opinions, man. You know, that director, I agree with you on your take, Billy. Like, I fucking love Man of Steel. I love that movie. That movie's fucking incredible. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But this one, nah.
Hey, and I did, like I said, like I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing Army of the Dead. I liked it, but you know, it's I don't want to spoil anything for people that haven't seen it. But
I'll say
I liked
this:
it.
Army of the Dead is a movie that I will YouTube the cool clips, and that's it. I ain't rewatching it.
It is fun though. It has, you might not notice it on the first watch, but there's a lot of stuff going on that's led to a lot of fan theories and speculation, because we know Zack Snyder's trying to set up a universe based on this property. They've already filmed a prequel movie, and there's animated stuff coming out.
It's pretty cool.
We're gonna get an Army of the Dead universe, for better or worse, and there's a lot of cool fan speculation on some.
I'll watch that prequel. I watched the prequel film, and I watched the anime style series, because I like that shit. You know, it just, this one didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking. I'll see the prequel film as well. I'll say I'm looking forward to that as well. Interesting, and I think it's already done. Basically, I don't know when it's coming out though.
I think it was already filmed. And, yeah. It's gonna star one of my biggest celebrity crushes, Nathalie Emmanuel.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
She was Missandei in Game of Thrones.
Interesting.
She was also in like one. She was also in one of the Fast and Furious films.
Okay.
A couple of them, actually.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could picture who you're talking about though, but you know, I just want to give a shout out to everyone watching. We've got Ferris, of course, Billy P. I'll go by your screen names here. Patrick Gibson. Thank you so much for watching, joining on the conversation. I know, Billy, you're a big Zack Snyder fan. So I'm imagining that Billy really enjoyed Army of the Dead, is what I'm getting here.
Billy, the master of puns himself, Billy
the
P,
master of puns. He hasn't posted a single pun in this.
The hell no,
chat.
Dude! If you scroll up, he did put one.
He did.
He did. Yeah. He said, "Hold on, I got you here. Can't miss a pun from him." It was literally his first comment, I think.
I must have missed it.
It's looking like Timothy has got it. Chalamet made parentheses made. Yeah. Damn it, Billy.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah, it is a good one.
We have Ferris saying that Natalie was in Fast and Furious 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Which character was in 7 and 8? I'm wondering.
She's fine as hell, bro. She's so fucking fine.
What is she in terms of the story? How is her character involved? Do you remember?
Oh, I didn't watch Fast and Furious 7 or 8, dude.
No.
All I know her is from Game of Thrones. She's also in,
come on, you didn't watch your Crushes movie? What's that about?
Bro, I don't watch that shit. You think? I stopped at Tokyo Drift.
Well, we have another surprise guest that just popped in, and maybe he knows who this character is. Welcome to the show, Dwayne Burke.
Hey!
Hello.
It's been a while since I've seen this, man. So refreshing.
What character am I supposed to know?
Nathalie Emmanuel's character from Fast and the Furious. Fast and Furious 7 and 8.
She's in 7 and 8.
She plays the hacker that develops the God's Eye.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh wait, hacker that develops God's Eye.
Yeah. So in 7, like the whole plot of 7 is there after that
yes,
program.
her. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I remember her character now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's gonna be in the Army of the Dead prequel.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see Army of the Dead, Dwayne?
I mean, I guess you can say that I saw it. It was out of focus for like 75% of the film.
Oh,
I guess I saw it.
That's the same thing Sabrina said.
Hey man, that
Like-
tilted nucleus was putting in work.
Dude, it wasn't even that. It's just I think I know why a lot of it was out of focus, is they were
Mhm.
hiding cuts and things that they
Mhm.
made.
Yeah. Oh, to take out
Right.
Chris D'Elia. Yeah.
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 There's also like, I don't think Tig Notaro's character was plopped in as seamlessly as everyone else. Like, seems like they were, when especially in that first scene, there were some real hard cuts that I was like, "Yep, that's the spot where Chris D'Elia was at. Yep, that's where he was at before. Yep, he was right there." Because it's like it was just like that one scene in particular, right? You never got any like over the shoulder stuff or anything like that where you could see all of the characters speaking at the same time, because he was in that scene and they couldn't, like, so it was only like that entire scene was made up of face to face, just like alternating shots.
Mhm.
I think that's also why they had the conversation between the fence, because they could use the fence to like hide some of the stitching that they were doing
Hmm.
of Tig Notaro into the scene.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
a lot of Tig Notaro stuff was done on green screen.
I could tell.
I will say, so even watching this film as it's intended on the best screen possible, we all know it is there's a lot of out of focus shots to maybe hide some of the editing, which is what I was thinking initially as well. I was like, oh yeah, this part's out of focus, but the amateur editor in me is like, yeah, that's probably because I gotta cut like Tig Notaro into there, and it's like, oh, she's out of focus. Next shot, from the other angle, Dave Bautista's out of focus. You know, I'm like that. I would do the same thing if I was trying to like impose somebody into a shot. But that first scene in particular, to me, they just like were just like cutting back and forth. Like you don't see them on screen together at all.
I was like, I wasn't even sure if this was like the same conversation. Like, I don't think Dave Bautista was talking to Tig Notaro. I think Tig Notaro probably just ran the lines with like a random person on a green screen.
I mean, 100%. I think there was something that came out that said her and Dave Bautista still have never met.
Oh my god!
It's pretty. I mean, as for them to do that though, like it looked as good as it could possibly look.
Yeah.
I did notice in that scene because I was like also trying to watch it to see if I could tell how it was all cut together, and in that scene, I mean, I think Dave Bautista does say she instead of he when talking about Tig Notaro's character. So that was either a reshoot with Dave Bautista or they just ADR'd and got rid of the he and changed it to a she really quick.
I think they ADR'd it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like super faint. It's not like he actually said it. It's almost like they took. It's almost like they didn't even have him re-record the line. As it sounded like they just took when he says she somewhere else in the film and then just like plopped it in there and like played with the equalizer.
Yeah. Oh man, Chris D'Elia ruins shit once again, like Billy says.
Yeah. The magic of editing though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also, I was gonna say, it also didn't do the movie any favors that I was watching it on like a $60 projector on my laptop, which cost like $100 on really crappy Wi-Fi, and it was projected on an angle against like my wall. So that on top of having to watch everything out of focus, it was a little tough to keep my eyes focused on what it was that I was seeing.
I mean,
why did my dad just give me fucking band-aids?
I watched it for once. I watched something on my TV. I like never use my TV, strangely enough. But I watched it on my TV and I was just like, this movie isn't that great. Like it's a movie. It's a movie, but it's not like this like revolutionary like film that I thought we were like I was hoping to get. Like I was hoping to get something that like was gonna make me want to talk about Dave Bautista the way like I did after Blade Runner or the way like we did after Guardians. It's like Dave Bautista's fine. He's not bad, but he's just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's good. I enjoyed seeing him in this film. You know, as more or less the lead. I know it was like a very much an ensemble cast. I would say the first act of the film really like intrigued me. I'm like, oh, what are they doing? This is really interesting. And the second and third act, it kind of like fell apart a little bit for me, but I still enjoyed it more or less. It kind of like, okay, like I would see more. I would watch this prequel movie. I'll see what's going on with this anime that they're doing, and maybe they'll make sequels down the road. Maybe I'll watch those. Like I'm interested enough, but when it first came out, everyone, you know, was like seeing it like in the theater at like early screenings and talking about how great it was. And I don't know if I got that same impression.
Well, like Billy said in the chat, you could have cast anyone as the lead. That's the problem. That's part of the problem with this is that if I'm not gonna get something that like is like, yo, this is like there's a reason you cast Dave Bautista, like then what was the point? Like you literally could have cast anyone in the role. And maybe, you know, had money left over. Maybe you cast someone smaller and you would have the money left over for reshoots instead of having to splice Tignataro in on with a green screen. Or like maybe you could have done another pass on the script and got some of that stuff that doesn't make any fucking sense out of it. Oh, sorry. Doesn't make any sense out of the script. Like also maybe you could have kept a consistent tone through the movie. Cause like, you're right. The opening act is for me the best part, and I was really, really sold in the opening act. Like when they assemble the team and they bring everyone to the hangar, and Hiroyuki Sanada, when he says "easy peasy Japanesey," I laughed out loud. Like I laughed out loud. That whole moment, and I was like, cool. If this is the tone, like I'm here for it. This is awesome. I'm here for this. And then the tone switches and it becomes like way more serious. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm here for this movie.
Yeah. There is kind of, I didn't really think about it. There's kind of like a tonal shift at some point in the movie. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I feel like maybe I need to watch it again. Like I'm not gonna rush out to go watch it again or rush to my TV, I suppose. But we have Billy saying the opening scene itself is nuts. It was pretty cool. Definitely some interesting ideas without getting into spoilers. Like there's more there. I like what Zack Snyder set up in this movie, and then the execution of some of it didn't quite pay off the way that I would have liked to see, but I'm still wanting to see more. I'm still wanting to see more. So, you know, I'm not gonna go too harshly on it. And yeah, Hiroyuki Sanada. I hope I'm saying that remotely correctly. He's great. I feel like we're getting a lot of him lately. I think he was also in Mortal Kombat. And I know him personally or affectionately as Dogen from Lost. But it's amazing. Every time we need a Japanese guy in a movie, he's the guy that plays him. He's keeping busy.
We need more of him.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, I think he's fantastic and he doesn't get enough. He doesn't get near enough work.
Yeah,
definitely. But like, and that's like a solid point because like literally every time I'm watching a movie and like a Japanese character comes on screen, I'm like, in my head, like I picture it's gonna be him, and then it actually is him. And then I'm like, oh no, they really got him. Wow, that's crazy.
Man,
like,
I wish I wish they would have like given Raul Castillo more. Like I liked Raul Castillo,
Mhm.
and I think that guy's just fucking great. Like, not just
Was
because he
that
has my name, right?
was that
Yeah,
the YouTube guy?
yeah, yeah. The guy with the
Okay.
blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really liked him too.
yeah. I've said this multiple times. If I ever get to do like a, like an Eddie Guerrero biopic, because I've wanted to do that.
Mhm.
That's my Eddie. That's my Eddie. That's who I wanted to be my Eddie. Like, man, like, probably not like mullet Eddie, but like towards like end of his life Eddie. I want that guy to be my Eddie. But he was fucking great in this
Mhm.
movie. I liked him. I wish they would have given him more. But he was also in Wrath of Man, which I haven't watched, which I might just watch just because of him. But we'll see if it's any good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that way about a lot of the characters. I don't mean to cut you off, Dwayne. Go
I
ahead.
don't know. Go ahead. I was just gonna say I
No.
think that for a few of the characters, it just like there just wasn't enough.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like along the lines of like what I was gonna say. Like, there were interesting characters in this movie that I would have loved if they were able to explore them more.
Mm-hmm.
That like there's the well, I guess we are going to get. I think the whole prequel is about the safecracker guy, right? It's like a prequel
Yeah,
with him
it's
pre
being
the
directed by that
zombie
actor as well.
apocalypse.
Yeah,
Really, I didn't know that.
yeah, being directed by him too.
Okay. So at least we'll get more of him, and he was a really funny character. I thought, in like not in like a silly way, but like in a like a charming kind of. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was funny,
Mhm.
but I do want to before we run this Army of the Dead talk into the ground, because I will definitely do that. I want to get Dwayne's thoughts on Timothée Chalamet playing Willy Wonka.
There's other young white men
Mhm.
in like there's other skinny young white men in Hollywood. Like
Mhm.
and also like who cares like right now like I don't think anyone cares about Willy Wonka before the Chocolate Factory. Like that the movie with Johnny Depp put such a bad taste in everyone's mouth. I don't think anyone is like clamoring for this. So whatever.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like I said on the show earlier, I'm a big fan of that Gene Wilder Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie just because I grew up on it. And well, I love chocolate as well. I think that's also a big thing. We were talking about Nerd's Rope in here a moment ago, how you can't find it anywhere. If this movie brings back Nerd's Rope in its marketing, are you on board now, Dwayne?
I mean, I'm not a super huge fan of Nerd's Rope. But I am a fan of what are now known as sweet tart ropes. What used to be known as
those are
what
good.
used to be known as kazoozles that are
Hmm.
also, I believe, made by the Willy Wonka Candy Company.
Interesting. I'm
They're
not familiar
basically
with those.
they're basically Nerds ropes without the nerds, and those you can find pretty much
Mhm.
anywhere. And I'm a huge fan of those, so I don't really need this movie to bring back my favorite candy.
What about Wonka bars? You ever had a Wonka bar?
No, but I'm not a huge. I've seen them, but I'm
Mhm.
not a huge chocolate fan.
Mm.
The only chocolate I really like is Toblerone. Other than that, I'm not really a chocolate fan. I'm a fruit flavored candy person.
Interesting. I do like fruit
Chemistry.
flavored candies, but I think I'm more of a chocolate man myself. But yeah, no, like other than my personal bias with candy and also with the fact I'm nostalgic for the Gene Wilder version, this is definitely a movie that nobody asked for. And a prequel to Willy Wonka. I don't know, but I think Timothée Chalamet, he is going to sing in the movie, which should be interesting.
That
I don't know.
still like.
I don't know.
It's great, a blockbuster vehicle for
Mm-hmm.
a white man in Hollywood that nobody asked for. It's definitely what we need more of.
Mhm.
Oh, I remember a while back they've been talking about this movie for months, and they were, I think, talking about like Ryan Gosling and Donald Glover in that same role.
Mhm.
Uh, how would you have felt if either one of them were cast as a young Willy Wonka?
I would care less than I do now if it was Ryan Gosling, and I would care a little bit more than I do now if it was Donald Glover, but only because it's Donald Glover. The story does nothing for me. But it's Donald Glover. But there's plenty of people that could fill that role. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Jingle Jangle.
I have not
No,
seen it yet. I
never seen
wanted to
Jingle Jangle.
watch it around Christmas
Okay,
time. I didn't get around
so
to it.
you you definitely should watch it. But there's a younger version of the character played by Forrest Whitaker that I think would be great because he basically kind of plays a Willy Wonka-esque character. He also sings, so like
Interesting.
he's capable. Um, so like he's that's actually who when a few months back when we were talking about if you were going to recast someone as T'Challa, who you would pick, this actor was the person that I picked because
Mhm.
he's physically very similar to Chadwick Boseman, but he's seen, like, I've seen something from him that shows that he can play the character and is capable of doing the musical parts as well. So that's where I would go with it. He's also lesser known, which I think the more times that something big like this can be up and comers role, I think the better.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. You already say he's playing a Willy Wonka type character. That intrigues me. Willy Wonka, like just like in his like quirkiness, or is he a candy maker?
He's not a candy maker. He's a toy maker.
Okay. I'll definitely have to check that one out. Okay, so I got 2 movies on my watch list: Jingle Jangle and Train to Busan. And we have Billy Paulian in the chat saying "Cheer Up, Charlie" equals the best song from the original film, but also saying he wants a Paddington cameo where he makes marmalade with Wonka. I don't know, guys. I got marmalade from Trader Joe's early on in the pandemic, after we did a Paddington double feature, my old apartment with Rachel Silvestrini and Alex Marzonia. I was not a fan of marmalade.
I've never had marmalade.
I'm also not a fan.
I was not a fan. It was very, very
what specifically is marmalade?
It's kind of like jelly or preserves, but there's like there's like fruit pieces still in it. Yeah, which that's why I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the fruit pieces in my spread.
You had me at the first half.
Yeah, it's just not something I like.
I don't know what Paddington, all the fuss is about with that bear and marmalade. And then he makes those sandwiches for those prisoners in the second one, and they all become his friends because it's so good. I don't believe it for a second. Calling out Paddington for what he is. The truth will find you, Paddington. But we also, Dwayne, talked on this show about the Eternals trailer, but we haven't gotten into some of the other trailers that dropped today. But I want to get your just overall thoughts on Eternals. Is that something you're looking forward to?
I didn't really watch the trailer by choice. I honestly was kind of avoiding it, but I figured I'm gonna have to talk about it at some point this week, so I watched it. I think from now on I'm not gonna watch anything else. I do understand a lot of the criticisms that people have made about the look of the film. Let's not really get into that. We don't need to bring that kind of negative energy here. I understand, but I think that it looks good. it definitely looks to be one of the more interesting MCU films. I think it'll probably be one of the more philosophical MCU films, akin with Doctor Strange, simply because you have this group that has been on Earth with the power to do something, and they just have chosen not to. And the why of that, with the why they've chosen to act now, kind of um, being an interesting conversation to explore with the content of the movie. But yeah, I mean, I was already sold. I was gonna go see it anyway. I really didn't.
Yeah, and so another trailer that we got today, I think I'm gonna get the name of this movie right. Last Night in Soho, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Edgar Wright's latest film. Did you watch that trailer today, Dwayne?
I did. And I mean, that it was hard watching the trailer for me because the way it's structured, and just from what we know of the film already, I'm not sure how much of that is going to be in the movie. A lot of the trailer felt like it was stuff that was only for the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And that worries me a little bit, because that gives me some real Mother vibes, where the trailer was completely different. Like, it sold you on a completely different film than what you actually got. But I mean, Edgar Wright hasn't missed for me, so I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna watch it. We'll see what it. I'm not a fan of the trailer, but I think the movie will be fine.
And
I like
yeah,
I like the
Raul?
fact that there's no like dialogue in the trailer, like no actual dialogue, and the fact that apparently Anya Taylor-Joy is singing that song in the movie in the trailer. So I was like, oh, didn't know she could sing. And other than that, like it looks interesting. I'm obviously a fan of Wright and his editing and his direction. I was sold on this movie way before, just because it's Edgar Wright and just me being excited for one of his movies. But I saw this, I was like, okay, I'm interested. But I won't say it was like an amazing trailer, but I just like the fact that like I literally have no idea what the fuck this thing is about from this trailer.
Yeah, it seems really interesting. I was kind of getting like, is she like becoming Anya Taylor-Joy and like doing like a time warp type thing? I wasn't too sure. I also watched this first thing when I woke up, and I don't even think I had the sound on. No, just how like when you come across like a trailer on like Twitter, and like it just like while it's on your feed just starts playing. I don't think I ever actually clicked on it. So I didn't even hear Anya Taylor-Joy sing. So I'll have to go back and check that out. But it's Edgar Wright's first movie since Baby Driver, I believe. So it's been a little bit. I was a fan of Baby Driver. Raul, what were your thoughts? Did you get a chance to see Baby Driver when it came out?
I still have not watched Baby Driver, man. I need to. It's just I think everybody knows why I'm kind of apprehensive at checking out Baby Driver, but like I will say that I have a method of watching Baby Driver that I'll stop there. But I'll watch it soon.
I mean,
Dwayne.
I would suggest you watch it, but I'm kind of with you. It's Baby Driver's kind of like it's like the most unwatchable film, I think, now.
Yeah.
I think it's just all around, with three of the main cast members of the film,
Mm-hmm.
having various degrees of problems.
I'm wondering who's the third.
John Hamm.
John Hamm. Did John Hamm do something I didn't know about?
I'll tell you later.
Oh gosh, guys, John Hamm. We gotta cancel him. I didn't know.
No, I don't think it's at that. It's nowhere
Mhm.
near the level as the other two.
That's probably why I didn't know about it.
Yeah, it's nowhere. It's still bad, but it is nowhere near the other two.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I will say, like, just the collective amount of problematic that's
Mhm.
surrounds the cast
Yeah.
kind of makes it like unwatchable. But
Mhm.
I it sucks because the film is so well made. It is
I
so
bet.
well made. It's so well made.
Mhm.
Like the way that it was edited and the sound design and like the way the entire narrative was put together, I think is like something to be applauded. Um, but there's so much else, just a dark cloud hanging over the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't think I've watched it since the theater. I remember really enjoying it, but yeah, and Edgar Wright is such a good filmmaker. So hopefully, uh, this film will prove to be less problematic in the future, which I think
Yeah.
it's already off to a good start.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I never really thought about that with Baby Driver, how unwatchable it is now. But we have Patrick in the chat saying, I'll argue that it wasn't all that watchable before everything came out. But that's my own weird thing. Patrick, very harsh criticism of Baby Driver.
Pat always coming with the hot takes with
Hot
this shit. Yeah.
But yeah, so and Raul and I didn't get a chance to watch the trailer for Gunpowder Milkshake, but Dwayne, did you get a chance to see it?
I did. This is another movie that I kind of didn't need a trailer for. This got announced like 3-4 months ago. Like
Mhm.
they like let us know that this
Mhm.
movie was like a thing that and I was sold then. Like I didn't
Oh
need
yeah.
I did not need a trailer.
That cast alone.
I'm not on the page that everyone else is. That's like, oh, like here's another movie where it's like, ooh, I wonder if this is in the John Wick universe. Like, I don't really. We've had enough of that. I think we've seen that they're not going to connect any of these similar worlds, really. I mean, maybe they will in the future, but as of right now, like Atomic Blonde, not in the John Wick universe. Nobody, as far as I know, not in the John Wick universe. Hotel Artemis, not in the John Wick universe. So I think we can kind of just like let that go and just let this live as its own thing, and maybe possibly its own universe. And I think if we do that, we're gonna all like this movie a lot. I think.
Yeah, I did not get the chance to see the trailer, but it sounds interesting. I still have to see Nobody, so I'm like, I want to say like, oh yeah, it sounds really cool. I'm gonna go out and see it, but I haven't seen Nobody yet, so I'm like, will I go out and see it? Because that's supposed to be really good too, from what I hear.
I mean, I would have seen Nobody already if I felt comfortable going to the theater.
Yeah.
And also when it was like when they did put it in theaters, none of the theaters around me were open yet. So I couldn't have seen it in theaters anyway, and I wasn't going to pay the like $30 or whatever it is to watch it at home, because it did come out on
Yeah.
VOD day and date. I wasn't willing to pay. In fact, for the most part, now that theaters are open, I'm not willing to pay day and date for anything. Like I'm not gonna, because like it's $30 to watch like Cruella at home, and it's like it's 15 if I go to the theater. Like
Yeah, I miss you with that shit.
like I will go
Yeah.
Like I'll go watch it in a theater or I'll wait. Like I'll do
Mhm.
one or the other. Like I'm not gonna pay $30 for it.
It's certainly not worth it unless you get a bunch of people over to all split it with you and you have a big gorilla party at your house.
Well, I mean, it's not just for Cruella. It's for anything.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, that's going day
Black
and date.
Widow,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, like Black Widow, definitely not gonna.
No.
I mean, by the time Black Widow comes out, I might be comfortable going back to the theater at that point,
Mhm.
though. So I might see that one in theater, or I might just, not even watch it. To be completely honest, I'm not completely sold that I need to see this movie in order to, move forward in the MCU.
Yeah, I'm not like super excited for Black Widow. I'm sure, I mean, it's a good cast of, actors that I really enjoy seeing, and it's a Marvel movie, so like, but like aside from that, it's like this movie was like supposed to come out last year, and it's like, I don't know, it's like coming out like you said, like, and Disney Plus for like a premium cost, and I don't know. I'll definitely see it just because, aside from the fact that I have to watch these types of movies if I want to continue to compete in this schmodown, but other than that, I'm just like a completionist where I'm like, all right, I've watched every MCU movie this far. I'll keep watching them all for the sake of watching them all. But it's definitely a movie that, and I guess that's maybe happened to like a lot of films that have been delayed, but just, I don't want to be too harsh on it because I haven't seen it yet, but I'm not all that like super excited to see Black Widow. Not nearly as excited as I am to see Jurassic World Dominion when that comes out next year, because we're seeing Sam Neill back as Alan Grant, the star of Jurassic Park 3, the greatest movie ever made.
Yeah, that's it's a bit hyperbolic, but okay.
That train of thought wasn't going where you thought it was gonna go, was it?
I'm pretty sure I knew where it was going.
Fair.
I wouldn't say it's that way for all or even most movies that were delayed.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's symptomatic of every piece of the MCU being essential to the story and showing me that this could get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back just kind of tells me that like nothing in it is going to affect going forward.
Yeah.
Because if it was really that important, you would have gotten it out. Like I'm still super excited for the Green Knight. Like I'm super excited for that. The delays didn't temper my excitement for that at all. But it did for Black Widow because like I was like, okay, so I guess I don't need to see it before I see WandaVision. Okay, I guess I don't need to see it before I see Falcon and Winter Soldier. Okay, I don't need to see it before I see Loki. And if that's the case, maybe I don't need to see it. Like maybe I don't need to see it in order to, move forward and understand everything moving forward in Phase 4. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but like that's the impression that they've given me by delaying this so many times instead of just releasing it. Like, I think that they would have made more money if they would have released this 6 months ago on Disney Plus Premier Access or whatever the hell it's called. I think this is going to fall flat, and I think this might be the first bomb in the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna have probably the lowest box office just because of people still not really going to theaters and theaters being at limited capacity, and that being, tied up with like VOD, people purchasing that at home. It's probably not gonna, so they got to kind of also look through that lens. But yeah, no, I totally get what you mean about them just like pushing it back. And it's like, well, do I have to watch this to really know what's going on? I know that mild spoilers for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I know that like Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character was supposed to make her first appearance in Black Widow. And they kind of like switched some things around very easily, like to fix that. So I feel like other than that, you're right. Do we need to see this movie? Disney and Marvel Studios haven't really done anything to sell us on. We need to see this movie to continue to follow the continuity of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Raul, I know you're such a big Marvel Cinematic Universe fan. Do you have any thoughts on this topic at all?
I want more TV shows. I like those TV shows. Those two Disney Plus shows, they've done more for me than the movies could. I'm on the same boat as Dwayne. Yeah. You delay it so much. So like, do I really need to watch this? Like, what do I need going forward? And obviously it's like, this was the type of movie for me. Like, if you don't release it right now, like when it should have been released, like with like VOD and stuff, chances are I don't really need to see it right now. But since I am a content guy, I'm gonna watch it, of course. But chances are that if I didn't have to do this would have been me just going to YouTube and checking out how this connects to the cinematic universe, and then from there just not really caring to watch it because I didn't really care much for this movie before. This is a movie that should have been made long time ago. But yeah, I'm kind of like in the same field as Dwayne here.
Yeah, that's I totally get it. So I don't know. I'll reserve any further judgment until the movie comes out. But I totally get what you guys are saying. Me being the geek that I am and the completionist that I am, I will see it probably opening weekend in some capacity. I totally get where you guys are coming from. Before we wrap up here, I thought it might be fun to just talk about if you guys have been watching anything lately, movies, TV shows. I will start off by saying I have been watching the Mighty Ducks Game Changers on Disney Plus. Finally got all caught up on that. And speaking of Disney Plus, I've been watching a lot of Disney Plus lately. High School Musical, the series. I'm all caught up on that show as well. And I've also watched since High School Musical 1 and 2, as well as the original The Mighty Ducks last night. So I'm on a bit of a Disney kick right now. Raul, I know you've been very busy lately. But have you had time to watch any new movies or TV shows or anything that you want to recommend or talk about?
So like when I was on, time that I had to go graduate and stuff, I watched Mandalorian season 2. Loved that. It was pretty good. And while we were working, the days that we were prepping, we would come back every night, and some of my crew would choose a movie. Like they would choose a movie for the day and for the night, and we would watch. So we watched we rewatched Booksmart. I love that movie. It's freaking great. I rewatched it. I watched Army of the Dead. Didn't like that. I watched that remake of Vacation with Ed Helms. I liked it. I didn't pay too much attention throughout of it to really like say that I watched it, but I liked it from what I watched. I watched Unfriended for the first time. God, that movie fucking sucks. God, that movie's fucking horrible.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That movie fucking sucks, man.
So what you're telling me is that you're not going to go watch Unfriended. What is it? The Dark Web? Is that the sequel? You're not going to go watch that one?
Luis wanted to watch it when I watched the first one with him. I said, nah, I'm good. I ended up rewatching The Florida Project. Incredible film. Love that movie. Beautiful. And then I rewatched Good Boys. Still love that. That's funny. Yeah.
I saw that one in theaters.
I rewatched Game Night. That was all right. Yeah, that was funny. And then I rewatched Mulholland Drive. And well, everybody knows my thoughts on Mulholland Drive. It's a fucking masterpiece. David Lynch is a fucking god. But Unfriended was really bad. like really bad, man. I should have not picked that movie, but I was like, I've never seen this, and like it gets talked a lot, and yeah, I don't. It's not that I didn't like the whole like way that they film it. Like I don't mind that. I'm very interested in watching Searching because I've never seen Searching, but like the movie itself, Unfriended, was bad. But
I mean, there was that other movie similarly that came out this year, Host. That was really good.
I've never seen that.
That was probably a much better version of Unfriended.
Unfriended.
If you want to check that out, I think that was just like some like random filmmakers or film students or somebody that put that movie together.
Yeah.
And it ended up getting them like a 3-picture deal with Blumhouse, I think. So,
God damn.
Yeah, and that was all shot and done during early pandemic. So
manifesting that for myself.
Yeah, right. I believe in you, man. I believe in you. Dwayne, what about you? Have you been watching anything interesting lately that you would like to share before we head out for the night?
Unfriended as well, or what, Dwayne?
No, I have not been watching Unfriended at all. I mean, I've been rewatching a lot of stuff, honestly. I rewatched Need for Speed. I rewatched King Arthur.
Legend of the Sword, or
no,
the other one,
just King Arthur, the one with Clive, Owen.
Yeah, I own that shit on DVD.
The cast in that movie is insane.
Yeah,
like it is insane. The cast of that movie, you know, Clive Owen. You got Ray Stevenson. Why am I forgetting?
Mads.
Yeah, you got Mads Mikkelsen. Why am I forgetting everyone's name all of a sudden? The guy who played Uncle Owen.
Joel Edgerton?
Yeah, Joel Edgerton is in it.
Or Phil Brown for the 5-pointer?
No. Joel Edgerton is in it.
Keira Knightley, man.
Keira Knightley. Stellan Skarsgård. Like, the cast of the movie is insane.
That's a cast.
Like, it's crazy. The Mr. Fantastic is in it. I think his name is Ian Gruffudd.
Ian Gruffund, yeah, or Johan Griffin. I think it's pronounced actually. It's pronounced like Johan. I think.
I forget that Antoine Fuqua did that movie, man.
Yeah, that movie is pretty good. I really like it. I know a lot of people like really hated it, and I was like, I liked it.
I've never seen it. I guess I'll have to add that to my list.
Yeah, I think you would like it.
Yeah, I need to rewatch.
I like most things. Sabrina would tell you I watch bad movies. I like bad movies, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Low bar for me. Low bar.
I mean, everything doesn't have to be like the Mona Lisa. Sometimes it can just be can of soup. Like
can of soup.
Can of soup.
But if it's gonna be can of soup, at least let it be good, you know.
Well, no, like I'm comparing paintings, Raul.
I thought can of soup,
yeah, uncultured fuck.
Like a real can of soup. Come on, like Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
Just came back.
No, the Mona Lisa is a painting, and then can of soup is a painting by Andy Warhol. That most people consider terrible, but it's like it's a can of soup. Like it's literally what
can of soup. I thought you were literally talking about like soup, man.
No.
For a second, I was like, yeah, man, some like cream of green chili chicken. That'd be better than looking at the Mona Lisa for sure. Yeah.
No. Hey man, I fuck with that Campbell's cream chicken. You know?
I think I have some of that actually.
Some good stuff, cabinet. Bro. We put that in our enchiladas when we make them here.
Whoa.
You know, make some good stuff.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think that just about wraps up today's installment of Brandon Hanna Live. I think I think everyone pieced out. But in case you guys come back, I do want to thank everyone who was watching today. We had Ferris, Billy, Patrick, Mikey Chu was in the chat. Super great to have you all here. Want to make sure I wasn't missing anyone. Thank you guys for joining us, being a part of the conversation. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much to Raul and Dwayne jumping on here halfway through the show. Thank you for taking time out of your night to hang out with us and talk Army of the Dead and all kinds of great stuff. Timothee Chalamet as Willy Wonka. I know it's kind of, when you say it all backwards, it's like not, kind of a slow news week, in the world of movies, but that's okay. That's okay.
Hey, the Batgirl movie also got some directors.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
They did the Bad Boys for Life. Those guys?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Still have not watched that.
I liked it.
I need to.
Again, my bar low, but I liked it.
It was pretty good.
I liked it, but yeah. So Raul, like we said, you've been busy lately. You've been shooting a movie. You got a lot of great stuff going on. Let the good people watching know where they can find you online, where they can support your filmmaking and potentially see your film once it gets released. Promote whatever you got to promote.
Well, of course, always the Nerd Chicano on both Instagram and Twitter, and on all the other cool stuff you can do. But most importantly, go and follow Before I Leave Film on Instagram. We just put up some stills that were released on Twitter before, but we also have some new ones from a scene that we did inside of a bar. And then we transfer filled of our bedroom scene, which we used some beautiful Astera lights. And we use a China ball, and we got some good stuff, some hive lights, and we did some good stuff in there. And I'm going to be uploading those soon, and a lot of BTS pictures coming soon to that account. So go and check that out. It's a lot of cool stuff going on in there, and I can't tell you when you'll be able to watch the film because sadly, film festivals work with like exclusivity. So like once it premieres at one film festival, I'm allowed to like pretty much put it up and have y'all see it publicly. But for the people who supported us on Indiegogo or through donations or consultants or just special guests, quote unquote special guests, then I want them to watch the film. They'll get that link for our virtual screening, hopefully in the fall, and you'll be able to see the film. So just keep your eyes peeled. Before I Leave Film on Instagram. Go and check that out. Lots of good stuff.
Yeah, awesome. Go support Raul, guys, in any way you can. I'm sure I can't wait for the film. It's going to be great. Dwayne, where can the good people find you online? What are you up to these days?
You can find me anywhere and everywhere on the internet at BurkeMade. Please go check out my YouTube channel. With technical difficulties on Wednesdays and Desertman Live on Fridays with Aiden. Check out my Patreon, patreon.com/BurkeMade. I'm working on something really big. I'm putting together a OBS masterclass, basically like if you went to masterclass and like signed up for a masterclass, it would basically be that, but for OBS. I'm going to walk you through all of like the little nitty gritty details from start to finish on how to set up OBS for what you're doing. I am going to be offering a tier that has office hours once a week so that if you're working on something that doesn't quite fit the template that I'm having you build in the class and you need help with it, that would be the place, that would be the time, hit me up, join that tier, hit me up during office hours, and we can kind of work through your specific setup for OBS. And at the end of the course, hopefully everyone has a fully set up functioning OBS setup.
We making the Dwayne Burke School of Broadcast a real thing, huh?
We are, and it's going to be focused specifically on OBS Studio. Maybe in the future, I can do one for Streamlabs OBS, XSplit, Wirecast, some of the other broadcasting softwares. But for right now, it's going to be OBS Studio, mainly because That's what I use. That's what I'm the most familiar with. And it gives you the most options to do a lot of stuff. Some of the other softwares are somewhat limiting. But you know, we'll play it by ear as we move forward. It looks right now like it's going to be about 25 weeks long. I'm hoping to get it the first week dropped in July, which means my entire next month is going to be filming and getting that stuff to the editor so that can be out to you guys in time.
Awesome.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely incredible. I do not have the time or the patience to put together anything like that. So that sounds like a lot of amazing hard work is going into that. And guys, go support Dwayne and everything that he's doing with technical difficulties and his Patreon. And I mean, a full-blown masterclass on OBS. I might have to sign up for that one, guys. That sounds really great. It does.
Brandon, not everybody needs to be an instructor at the Dwayne Burke School of Broadcast, but everybody can be a student. And I am a student.
There you go.
I'm telling you. It's a great school. Join it, people.
Guys, yes, that's very wise words. I can't say it better myself, so I won't. Go support Dwayne at Burke Made, everywhere Burke Mades are made. I am, of course, Brandon Hanna. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Brandon Hanna07. If you're watching right now, you've already found me on YouTube, youtube.com/Brandon Hanna. Please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that little notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Not miss a thing. I don't know what that is. Like Jar Jar Binks talk.
All right, you sound like me, bro.
Leave a comment. Leave a comment to the fact that you want to join in on the conversation. I'd love to reply, and let's keep the conversation going. Let's talk about film. Let's talk about science. I do a science show over here every week, the periodic table. Dwayne's been on a bunch of times. Raul's going to be on sometime soon. I just know he will be. If you want to talk science with us every week, come over and check that out. It's a lot of fun. And I also have a Patreon of my own if you want to consider supporting that. Patreon.com/Brandon Hanna. You know, the cliches, find out what tier is right for you. So that wraps up our show here today. Thank you, Raul. Thank you, Dwayne. I never know how to end this show. So just thank you for taking time out of your day to hang out with us and stuff.